On today's episode of Warehouse Safety Tips, we're going to be talking about improving air quality and ventilation. So stay tuned. Welcome to Warehouse Safety Tips. If you're a seasoned vodcast viewer, this vodcast is going to be different from most that you watch. It's based around exactly what the name implies, warehouse safety tips. And since the people in this industry are busy, we know that time is money, so each episode will be as short and to the point as possible. And now, with all that out of the way, let's get to the vodcast. On today's episode of Warehouse Safety Tips, we're going to be talking about improving air quality and ventilation. Now, that is going to be a very wide sweeping subject, but we'd like to basically just do a very high level version of it to where we can help you with the safety involved around it. So the very first thing that we want to talk about are the things that are going to be covered with this. And we're not talking about PPE, the personal protective equipment, as much as we're talking about the actual air ventilation and quality of your particular facility itself. And that is going to be the things that are going to protect you against vapors, dust, smoke, and very, very fine particulates. So the very first thing we want to talk about, we have 5 things that we'd like to cover, and we're actually going to throw in a bonus 6th here on the podcast for the video edition. The very first thing is going to be air checks, making sure that you go around and check the air quality of your facility. Just by doing that alone, you're going to get a good insight into where you have good things and bad things and what to do about them. The next thing is going to be installing and maintaining high quality HEPA filters. Now, these are the things that are going to suck out those particulates and the vapors, the dust, the smoke, and get probably about 98%, ranging to about 99% of the air particulates. And so you're going to, just right off the jump, get the majority of things. That's where that PPE in the form of either face masks or any sort of ventilation systems that you actually wear are going to take care of the majority that's remaining. Then the next thing that we want to talk about is exhaust systems. Those are the systems that are going to actually suck all that air out of your facility that before it actually gets to you. So an example of that would be possibly like in a welding situation. If you have a exhaust that is pulling all of the vapors and smoke away from what you're doing, you have less chance of taking it in through your mouth and lungs. So that is going to be the third. The next thing is going to be ventilation, so far as going through and making sure that everything is well ventilated in your facility. By doing that, you're talking about natural ventilation. So that's going to be like making sure that windows are open if at all possible or applicable, using air vents, and things like that are going to not only not rely on systems, but nature in itself, to where you're not, as an example, when you're painting a room, you don't want to leave a window shut because the vapors would get you. By opening the window, it allows for natural air to come in and thus not, cause you to get those harmful vapors. One of the big factors of using natural ventilation is you're also going to save on energy costs. So if you can let Mother Nature do something, by all means do it. In very hot times, having windows open and things like that, depending on what sort of facility you have, may not be an option, but yet if it is, make sure that you take advantage of it. The next thing is going to be maintenance and cleaning. So even though you have these systems in place, it's a good idea to also go through and not only maintain and do those air checks that we mentioned as number one, but cleaning them and making sure that you keep air filters clean, that things are being wiped out, and just everything is always top of mind when it comes to the dust and particulates and all the things that can be an issue. We said that there is going to be a 6th bonus. That 6th bonus is something that should be always present in everything that we do with quality and safety, and that is training. Make sure that you make your staff in the form of your actual working staff that's on the floor of your facility, your maintenance crew who's also generally on the floor, management, everyone. absolutely knowing the air quality and ventilation rules and regulations of your facility, to where if they see something, they can say something, bring up good practices, bring up things that they think should be changed, and just everything that goes along with training, just education within your facility. So thank you for being part of another episode of Warehouse Safety Tips. We can't thank you enough. And until we talk to you next time, have a safe day. And here is a word from one of our sponsors.
It's scientifically unexplainable. It's virtually indestructible. And it's taking over the entire planet. But in a really good way. It's Mighty Line Floor Tape, the most durable floor tape in the world. 7 times thicker than average floor tape. Beveled to endure pounding warehouse traffic. And backed with a super strong peel and stick adhesive, so you'll never have to worry about painting shop floors again. Mighty Line Floor Tape, the only durable stripe.